In today's episode of Buy, Sell, or Hold, is it finally time to be buying into Dragon Ball Super Fusion World? The market says yes, but what do I say? Because as you guys all know, I'm the expert. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to TCG Madness. And today we are doing another episode of Buy, Sell, or Hold. This is episode 10. We are revisiting Dragon Ball Fusion World. Now, I already talked about Dragon Ball Fusion World when the first set dropped, and back then, which is about 2 months ago, I said, listen, hard sell on Dragon Ball Fusion World. The prices were extraordinarily high. I didn't like what I was seeing, like these, we're talking like booster boxes for like 200, 250. We were seeing just ridiculous prices. Well, late last night I was, searching through some prices, just taking a look at the market, just seeing like, hey, maybe there's something good going on that maybe I'm missing. And sure enough, I came across something very interesting with Dragon Ball Fusion World. Before we go any forward, if you guys can just do me the really big favor, please hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Comment on the video whether or not you agree, disagree, or maybe you're seeing something maybe a little bit differently. Again, everybody's going to have a different of opinions. Of course, I just said I was an expert. Of course, I was joking. This video is strictly just an opinionated video. These are just some fun videos that I like to make. Don't take anything I say, as like to the bank, basically. Don't say, wow, he said this, so I'm gonna do, don't take what I'm saying. Do your own research, man. I'm just gonna be giving you guys my opinion. You guys can do your own research. Maybe you can come up with a different opinion than I do. Of course, you can make an argument for anything to buy, sell, or hold on. It's not that complicated to make an argument for. I know in the Disney Lorcana video, a lot of you guys said I was a little bit nuts, and hey, I welcome those opinions, and I'm glad you guys disagree with me. I don't want everybody to agree with me. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I want different of opinions. I want different opinions from all spectrums, and I want just to have a healthy conversation about that, which is what I'm trying to do with these videos, basically. My criteria for whether or not buy, sell, or hold is I'm just looking at the market. If it's a strong market, a strong buyer's market, I say buy. If I think it's a market where it's just too high and I think prices are going to come down eventually or pretty soon, I'll say sell. If I think, it's a little too difficult or kind of in that mid area, but I'm not sure which way it's going to sway, I'll say hold. That's pretty much just my criteria. I'm looking at sealed, singles, and I'm looking at it through the lens when I'm making these videos of the everyday player. That's what I'm looking for, not the everyday collector, because collectors, they're going to spend big dollars on just about anything. If it's something that's collectible, does not matter to that person, they're going to buy it. But the everyday player is going to have a different of an opinion and a different times like, hey, should I be buying into this game? Should I be collecting these type of cards right now because I want to build certain type of decks? That's what I'm looking at. If it's a healthy buyer's market for the everyday player, then guess what? It's going to be a healthy market for the collector too. If it's a bad market for the player, guess what? It's still a good market for the collector, because collectors just don't give a shit. They're just going to buy and spend as much money. We call those whales. So that's kind of what I'm just looking at. And we have a very interesting market watching right now with Dragon Ball Fusion World. Now, Dragon Ball Fusion World did burst onto the scenes, and its first set was like astronomical. You can see right off the bat, actually, market price still has it at 1,600, market price 1,400, but we're seeing very different markets already. So let's take a look right at, and we're going to look at both sets, because I think it's very important. And we can go back as far as, February and up until now, and you guys can see. Look at the prices right there for just the sealed cases, which is 12 booster boxes. 1,800, 1,900, 19, 2,000. Highest was, $2,000. And then you've seen this big drop up until right now. Same thing with even the second set. We're just going to look at the first set first, and then we're going to jump into the second set. But we'll just look at the sealed case of the booster boxes first. Again, same thing. $700 right now, or $770 for a full case of booster boxes for Dragon Ball Blazing Aura, which is its second set. When it first dropped, we're seeing $1,700, $19 all the way almost to the 2000s, and then you're seeing a drastic drop. I mean, look at this. View more data. Let's just go look at recently. As of 6/4/24, right there unopened, you were spending $1,000. And then just imagine being that guy, by the way, spending $1,100, and now you can spend $770. That's a $300 difference. That's a big drop. So why are we seeing that big drop? Well, let's take a look at just the first set alone. All right, there we go. We got Awakened Pulse, Dragon Ball Fusion World. So right off the bat, what you're noticing, the most expensive card is $721. Okay, but a lot of the alternative arts have drastically dropped. We are talking drastically. Look at this price. $90 for a brand new alternative art Awakened Son Gohan. In the beginning of its inception, just about 3 months ago, look what you were spending. Anywhere between $200 to $180, then you're seeing just this drastic. That's a $100 difference, guys. Let's go look at view more data. So if you go as far as, let's see, when was the most recent high value purchase? I guess 140. which was right about here. So you see right here, 149, 153. We're seeing a lot of, high prices. And then all of a sudden we get into, which was that last month, then we get into this month, and all of a sudden, $100, $95. So, from 140 and dropping by another $20, and then another $20, and now we're all the way down to $95, which is what, in a 2-month swing? So 429 to 68, we're seeing almost a $40 drop. That's crazy. That's actually a really good sign right there. Taking a look at booster boxes. Let's go back 6 months ago. So booster boxes, we're hitting that 140, 170, and then all of a sudden we're seeing, this is where I said, and this is where I did my video on about 2 months ago. So this is when we were seeing those prices, when I did my video around March and April. I mean, look at the prices of the booster boxes when I made my video. 200, 215, 220, 209. I mean, these are crap prices, guys. Even as late as April, you were spending over $100 on a booster box. Don't believe me? Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and load more sales. A lot of sales on Dragon Ball Fusion World. Let's just keep going back a month. A lot of sales, All right, here we go. Let's go back until mid to early April. Woof. A lot of sales on that. All right, I think we're good. We'll do one more page, actually. So there you go. You guys can see consistently spending $100, 101. You guys can see all of it right there. And then just all of a sudden, as of now, when did we start seeing a big drop? So we're still in the 5s, and then we're going to go up into the 6, right about there. So 6.1, $91, and then steadily decreasing from there. 84, 83. Ooh, someone spent $69 on a booster box. Good for that person right there. Good price to buy that in. Now the $69.99 price, $69.90. So you're seeing some sporadic. Then you see $80 and $79 and $69. And now, going to today, we're kind of right around that $75 mark. So that actually is a sign that prices are going to continue to drop. I mean, look at right there. $58, 12-pack booster bundle plus free mystery pack. Don't know exactly what that means. Probably means something different. 12 booster pack bundle plus a free mystery pack. Probably means some kind of like dash pack. I know Bandai does a lot of that stuff. That's pretty much what I'm guessing that is. Look at the prices of their spending on this. $58 for 4 booster boxes, $58 for 1. That's really good, which means this $75 price, I mean, now we're at $70 plus $9.99 shipping. That means that we're probably not going to be living long in this era. It's probably going to be dropping pretty drastically. Here's another one. Look at this. 12 booster pack bundle, which means it's random packs plus a mystery pack. I mean, I would stay away from stuff like that. You want sealed booster boxes. But still, to see that kind of drastic drop from 1 month to now, pretty good. Let's take a look at some more of the alternative arts. So again, you guys can see $100, $106, $98, $90, and then all the way down to $41 where we're currently at. We're not going to look at all the sales because there's a lot of sales on Dragon Ball Fusion World. I would also implore you guys to also look on eBay and look for this stuff graded. I do think there was a big push to get all these cards graded all at once. I do think that is part of the reason why we're seeing this pretty big decrease. I don't normally talk about graded cards, but Dragon Ball is a very popular anime, much like One Piece, probably some of the most popular animes out there. So anytime there's a card game or anything collectible of that nature, that's going to be a really strong push to get graded. Again, I try to look through the lens of the everyday player, not the collector when I'm doing these type of videos. So that could be a big reason why, just could be. And I'm going to talk about just because I do think it is part of the reason why we're seeing this drop down in prices. So it's a pretty good singles market. It's almost a pretty good sealed market. These are all the alternative arts that you guys can see. This card was going for some big dollars at one point. I mean, you go back, look at that, 123, 178, and now we're all the way down. That's because this card was very powerful in the meta, and now you're seeing all the way down to $26.99. You can get your hands on it right now. Another big card was the Goku alternative art as well. Another high value card. Again, you're seeing 115, 87, 83, and then 66. Now we're all the way down to $26.59 for a near mint hollow foil, which is incredible. That's an incredible difference. You guys can see a lot of these alternative arts. This was also a very expensive card because it was pretty much meta. You go back, this was in everybody's deck. You need 4 copies of this card to have a very powerful deck. And you can see why. 47, 41, 39, all the way down right here. Then we get a little bit 33. And now we're all the way down to $11.85, which is incredible. I mean, you can even see to $10.99 at one point was sold for. So that's really good. This is a very good, this is a very healthy market. This is where I think Dragon Ball should have been. I said that in the last video. I'm like, until these prices are below $100 for a booster box, I wouldn't touch this product. Now we're down $100, and I'm probably going to go out and buy some booster boxes. So this is a really good market right now. Here's another very popular alternative art that was not very expensive, but 50 bucks is pretty expensive. $50 versus $9.49 now. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that's because I think part of the reason for this is, again, I think everybody was just getting these cards graded and selling them for astronomical prices at PSA 9 and 10s. Now I guarantee there's so much flooded, the market's been flooded with these graded cards. Now they're back to where it's comfortable for the everyday player to buy these cards, which is what it should be. This is what it's supposed to be. We want a healthy market for the everyday player, not the collectors. So let's just take a look now at just some of the leader cards. Again, these are the cards that are always highly collectible. You can see really strong market, 41. And these are the cards that, you get PSA 9s and 10s, or people love having in their decks as well, because it really just shows off your deck, gives it a nice bling. Seeing very healthy market there. How about for the super rares? Let's go ahead and cancel out those. That's a good market right there. The most expensive alternative art super rare is 10 bucks. That's a healthy market. You look at this card, alternative art, $10. Let's go find the regular version. There it is, Goku Black, $1.12. I mean, that's really, really good, guys. I mean, from 14 all the way down to $1.38. This is a great market. You can already tell in the reflection of my voice where I'm leaning on this video. It's not going to be that difficult to unpack here. This is just a good market, just all around good market. What's the other one? Son Goku. So let's look for the regular version. That was it, Son Goku. 6 months ago, this card was always pretty cheap. Good to see that it's now down to $1.30. But this is just a healthy market. Let's look at the SCRs, which is like their secret rares. We got the one right here. That's gonna be the most expensive. I guess it's worth checking out anyways. I mean, look at that. It was over $1,000, $1,200, $1,300, $1,300. Now we're at $721. Pretty big drop if you wanted the most expensive card. Again, I already touched up on these cards as well. Pretty strong market for Dragon Ball Fusion World. Let's go ahead and talk now about set number 2. That's also another reason why I think we're seeing a big drop. Set number 2 drops. That means there's more product you can get on hands. I do believe there were some reprints of the first wave, which also helps, which is a good sign. Let's go ahead and take a look at the most expensive card again, which is Vegito. Go away. So let's go ahead and there you go. $749 all the way down from $929. So this card was almost $1,000. Now down to $749. That's a pretty good sign right there. Let's go and take a look at booster box. That's a great price for a booster box. 70 bucks for a booster box is fantastic. When it first dropped, we were at 170, 180, 159. And then you're seeing, like I said, this is what I saw last night. This is what, I saw this last night. I was like, I got to make a video about this today. This is a healthy market. I just saw set 2, and I briefly looked over set 1 last night, and I'm like, I got to talk about this, because this is a good time to pretty much be buying into Dragon Ball Fusion World. And I do think that you're going to see some of these prices continue to drop, which is excellent. It also does help, too. They actually have a digital version of this game, so I think a lot of people were just holding out and said, well, I'm just going to go play the digital version. I don't need to go buy physical products. Digital versions for free. There's only one set, so there's only, it's not hard to collect those cards right now. Now with 2 sets, still makes it pretty easy to play the digital version, get the cards you want, play with it. I think that was another reason why you're seeing a little bit of a dip. I think you saw a healthy market over there on the digital side of things, which is good. So these are the leaders right here. We got Son Goku, we got Cell, Vegeta Blue right here, which is pretty good. Let's take a look at the prices for Son Goku. Really expensive. At one point now he's below the $100, so he was always a little under 150. Now he's under $100. Pretty good drop there. Take a look at Cell. He's $67.89 when he first dropped. We were looking at $169, $165, drastically dropping to $120, $106, all the way down to $67.89 right now. That's a very good market for him as well. Another popular card, Vegeta. He was at $134, $118, and now he's slowly down $100. So that's really, again, these are really good prices, guys. I don't need to tell you guys, when you're seeing this type of drop, it's like, okay, maybe now's the time. If you were holding out, now might be the time to buy some physical cards as well. And, good for the everyday player and the collector as well. So everybody should be able to get the cards that they want for a reasonable price. And I still think we're going to see some drops. So you can see right here, more dropping from all the way over, a little over 100, under to the $50 mark. All just really good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at just the super rares, which is the cards that every player needs. That's a good market right there. $12, $15, $17, still a little up there, but it is a newer set. These cards are probably going to be the more popular, more powerful cards in the meta. So that's okay. We're seeing a good, you're seeing the slope that you want to see. That's good. Take a look at the next card, Kefla. Let's see if we see that same type of slope. We do. A pretty more drastic slope from 30 down to 15.97. So her price basically cut in half. That's really good. How about Vegito? It decides to load up a little faster. There we go. So there you go. $34, $40, $28, all the way down to $17. Another downward slope of a card. But let's not take a look at the alternative art. Let's actually take a look at the regular versions for these cards as well. So Kefla alternative art is $15. How about the Kefla regular version? She's at $222. She was originally at 19, 18, 17. That's a big drop right there, actually. It's a dramatic drop from 20 all the way down to 222 plus $3. So basically $5 for that card. That's again, I consider that to be reasonable. That's what I want to see. How about Vegito? 17, drastic drop there. Went up a little bit and then just went right back down to earth, which is really good. Now he's at $5 as well. All good things, guys. Again, take a look. If you don't believe me, go ahead and take a look for yourself as well. This is TCG Player. Anybody can use this tool. For the end of this video, my recommendation for buy, sell, or hold. This is an excellent time to buy. Buy into Dragon Ball Fusion World. I actually do think you are going to see continued dropping of the prices on these cards, which is pretty good, unless they come out with like an Ultimate Collector's-esque set that jacks up the prices, or makes a card in the next set that goes really good with, like, let's say they make a card that really makes Android 17 or whatever, or Android 18 really popular and really successful and really powerful. You might see an increase in some of these cards. To see, though, we're seeing dramatic drops. Like, I mean dramatically card prices dropping, which is something you rarely see. From 150 all the way down to $50, talking $100 off. That's really good, and we saw a lot of that dropping here. Again, this is what I said. When you see more cards dropping than you do increasing, that's just a really good indication that now's a good time to buy. But I want you guys to comment down below, why do you think, though, we are seeing these dramatic drops in prices? I have my theory. I think my big theory really is there's a second set, there's more cards you can get, there's a digital version, but I do think the biggest factor, the biggest reason why, is I really do believe the market got flooded with PSA's grading of Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. I think that's the biggest factor. I really do believe that. And I think because of that market got flooded so fast that the grading market drastically dropped, which means all these cards were not as collectible, because that's what drives prices. Not always just the players, but really the collectors will drive the market more than anything else. The everyday player, they're always there and they're always looking for a good deal, and they usually will get that deal. The everyday collector, though, like I mentioned, they don't care what the price of a card is. They just don't. They just dropped their wallet and said, shut up and take my money, basically. So because of that, market reflects that. And there was such a good demand for those cards early on, and people were flooded the market with the grading. Again, go check eBay. Type in right now on eBay, PSA Dragon Ball Fusion World. You will see pages flooded with PSA 8, 9s, and 10s. Just flooded. It's not something I generally like to talk about, but I do think that is a big factor here. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Go check out some of my other content. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.